Welcome to the Black Script Storytellers. My name is Kevin Marable, and today we have a very special roundtable joining us. We have with us the cast of the feature film Masquerade, starring Ronson Hawkins, Gloria Prince, Xavier Alvarado, Zarmani Deal, alongside the film's writer, director, and producer, Justin Williams. Everybody, welcome to Black Script Storytellers. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Now, I like to start off every interview with a very simple question. And being that we have a round table, I'm going to go around the room. So when I call your name, I'm going to ask that very simple question. And I will start with I'll start with Justin. Justin, simple question is, who is Justin Williams?
In short, I am that I am. Does that work for y'all?
Okay.
That and when
It
I say
works.
I am that I am, it just simply means that you get exactly who you meet. That's all it means. But I'll prolong it. I'm a writer, director, producer. I'm also a father, in which I pride myself to be. And that's that. I want to leave it at that.
Okay. And let's start. Let's move on to Zarmani. Zarmani, who is Zarmani Deal?
I second that. I actually have I am tatted on my face. So yeah, I really do believe in the statement he just made. But to prolong that, I am a mother first before everything. I take pride in being a mother. I'm a nurturer, I'm a teacher, I'm a leader. I say actress last because that's not who I am, but it's what I like to do. So I'm an actress. I'm Zarmani. I'm me.
Nice. And what about you, Ronson? Who is Ronson Hawkins?
I am a believer in a God, actor, acting coach, artist, and yeah, I just love what I do. I'm just creative, an imaginative creative. Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Gloria? Who is Gloria Prince?
Oh, wow. I am also a believer as well. Believe in Jesus Christ. All glory to God. I am a creative. I am a friend. I'm a listener. I give the shirt off my back. And ambitious and determined to see my purpose fulfilled. So that's who I am.
Nice. And last but not least, Xavier Alvarado. Who is Xavier Alvarado?
Yes, man, everything that everybody says so far, but also an artist on top of that, and a storyteller. I love to tell great stories and just create really cool stuff while I have time on this earth with everybody else. So yeah.
Nice. I love everybody's answers. It's always good to know the people who I'm speaking with outside of what it is that you do. So thank you for kind of giving an introduction to yourselves. And we are all here today to talk about the amazing film Masquerade. So let's talk a little bit about Masquerade. Justin, I'll start with you. Let's talk about how this story got started, and where you came up with the idea.
Yeah, so I was actually I was catfished. Just to, put that out there. I was catfished before around 2015 when the whole catfish thing was like fairly new to the world. Like I didn't even know what a catfish could be at the time. And so, somebody once pretended to be someone that I had, built a love interest for, and we probably dated for about 3-4 months or something like that. And yeah,
Wow.
somehow it just came back to my memory around the time that I was on a really strict and a very disciplined healing journey. And I thought, what other way could there have been to put out the message of self-love and self-discovery? And it all starts with, we all pretend to be something or somebody until we begin to peel back layers and truly seek who we truly are. So I just thought I thought it just aligned so perfectly that there was no way I could have passed up that script at the time.
Okay. Okay. And so this is all loosely based on experiences that you went through. You just kind of tailor the story around it.
Right, right. So the story that we tell in the movie, it has nothing to do with how it happened to me, but the whole falling in love with somebody and it's not who you thought it, it were or was, they align, perfectly together. Story and experience.
Okay. Okay. And so now this film was written, produced, directed, and is now coming to streaming. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. Let's talk a little bit about the process of getting it from the the the, the creative side all the way to production, and to now we're currently at approaching. What was that process like?
Long. Uh I truly feel like my patience were tested to the extreme power of this time because I was like a microwave kid growing up. I wanted everything right here and there, like right away. And what I learned was that when
Mhm.
stuff comes quick, it truly holds no value to it, and you lose it right away. So I know through this journey, I was being tested to develop patience for the inner journey, and from the
Mhm.
day I thought of the movie, I had written everything down and I wanted things to come at my time. And, if I could like perfect it, and it just wasn't happening like that. Everything has to be nurtured in its own space, from the writing to the
Mhm.
casting to the locations, like to literally everything. Once we got to production, there were, I won't say we had many long nights because we actually ran a good set. Like we were able to get off at very decent times, but it still felt long. Film is long when you repeatedly doing things over and over again. But it was post production that
Right.
took the most out of me. I this is only my second film, so the experience is just not quite there yet. So having to learn
Mhm.
about every aspect of post production is just like I'm just ready for the movie to be done, and then I get hit with, okay, there's
Yeah.
something else you got to check off, and that was that. That was that. It truly taught me patience, and I loved everything about it. I think there's no better time to be here than right now with the release of this film.
Nice. We're going to circle back on on the post production part, but
Okay.
I do want to ask for the audience and everybody who's listening and paying attention, um, what is Masquerade about? In your words, as far as like a log line or synopsis, can you give us a brief description of what
Yeah.
Masquerade is about?
If I can give it to you the way I've written it, I'll try. But nah, I can't do it. I can't even. It just went away just like that. But Masquerade is about a kid who um who uses a jock's profile to pretty much date two girls at his school until the jock ends up attending the school that they're actually at.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Okay.
that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And so now we're introducing the characters, and we have Ronson, um, Ronson Hawkins. Please let us know who you play. You play Bryson Wilson. Let us know about your character in the film.
He's the catfish. I mean, he is the guy with the mask on posing as the jock who is hit with the surprise of that jock coming to the high school. Um, yeah, in short, that's who he is.
Okay. Okay. And for Gloria, you played Naomi Thompson. Can you tell us a little bit about your character?
Yeah, Naomi Thompson. She loves nature. She loves music. She loves her family, friends. She's not really into the popular crowd, not really into the latest fashions, not trying to do attention. All she cares about is her best friend and her family, and pretty much that's it. And then she gets into kind of a web of situations that happen where she finally lets somebody in and ends up turning in a way that that goes against everything that she was hiding behind, pretty
Mhm.
much. So it's a fun ride.
Okay. And Xavier, you play Avery Robinson. Tell us a little bit about your character.
Man, Avery, he's an interesting character because you see him at a very interesting time in his life. His mom had passed away. Um, him and his father are developing a new relationship. They're also moving schools at the same time, so his mind is everywhere. He doesn't really have any friends. Yeah, athletics and his looks are going for him, but internally he's suffering. So it's like having a lot of love outside doesn't always fulfill the inside either. And so it's interesting. We see him wear these emotions, but also the story picks up at the perfect time. Ronson, oddly enough, comes in and saves him. It's interesting without giving too much of the movie, but I think he's very relative to a lot of kids who go through those changing of schools when you're very young. And if you ever remember being the new kid at a school, that's where we see Avery.
Okay. Okay. And Zarmani, you play Kennedy Baker. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about your character.
Well, Kennedy is one of the popular girls. She's known for being popular, but she's not the popular girl that's mean. She's like the sweetheart, and she sees the beauty in everybody. So you'll see more of that when you see the movie. But yeah, that's basically it. She's the sweet, nice, caring, popular girl.
Okay. Okay. And this question is for anybody who wants to answer. But when you first received the script and you knew who your character was gonna be, what were your initial thoughts on playing in your role? I, I guess I'll lead by asking. Let me ask Xavier that question.
Yeah, man, I wanted to talk about it too, man. Appreciate that. I think it was just genius. Justin has always been a great writer, but I think what the direction he was taking with this at the time, me and him, we've always been creatives and having conversations just about how life kind of mirrors art. And at that time, he was developing a new relationship with his parents. And I was also developing a new relationship with my father as well. And so, reading that script, I'm getting to kind of heal some of that trauma as a child. Like, if I would have had my father growing up, like, I have a great relationship with my father now, but it had to be a lot of forgiving, a lot of reestablishing, and the character that Avery plays, he goes through that with his father, and his father is also grieving at this time. So it's interesting how you see the camaraderie of black men placed in this one script, and I thought that was just genius to write initially. That's one thing I just really appreciate about Justin's writing in general is he doesn't just write for views. He's writing to the soul of a person that can be taken individually, but also as a whole. And so I just thought it was a great script. No brainer.
Nice. Gloria, what about you? What were your initial thoughts when you first got your role for the film?
Yeah, Justin had texted me, and he was just like, "Hey, I got a role for you. I just need to hear you read it." And he sent me the script. And Naomi is actually Justin's a genius because he did cast everybody. I feel like there's a little bit of everybody in each character. And for me, I was popular in school, but not because of I was the prettiest, or it was really because of my talents. And I feel like Naomi sings and she loves nature. She's very quiet, and I feel like that's kind of mirrors me at the same time. So when I seen that I was playing Naomi, I was like, okay, this is going to be perfect. But the caveat of Naomi that Justin was fighting me on, he was like, you have to remember she doesn't care about the way she looks and the way what she's wearing. So we had to kind of, and it kind of healed me at the same time because at the time I cared about what people cared about me, and that wasn't Naomi. And so when we had our development calls, he was like, you got to let that go. So when I found out I was playing Naomi, yeah, I was like, this is going to be easy for me, but it wasn't easy for me because I had to let go of what Gloria thought and what Justin want in Naomi, and really just let go of what other people thought about me.
Okay. Okay. Zarmani, what about you and Kennedy?
Yes, so the way I even got this role was me and Ronson, we go back. We knew each other before Masquerade. We went to TSU together and we did theater together. So I've already worked with Ronson previous to Masquerade. So he tried to get me on other projects beforehand, but at that time I was working what I thought was a good job. And I'm like, nah, I ain't got time. Every time he would introduce something to me, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. So it's so ironic that this project, I actually end up to film, I had to quit my job that I was working. So I made a huge sacrifice. Mind you, I have kids. So I made a huge sacrifice doing that. But yeah. That's how I got on doing it. And then when me and Justin, I'm trying to say Ross and Justin. When me and Justin spoke, I said, yeah, this it. Just cause Justin has this vibrance about him when it comes to his creativity, when it comes to his work, and he knows exactly what he wants and how he wants it to come off. So like Gloria said, all he said was, I need to hear you read it. So once he heard me read it, it was a go. So yeah, so once I got the script, I was already excited to work with Ronson. I worked with him before. I know he's a phenomenal actor. I read it. It was the total opposite of how I was in high school. I wasn't the popular girl, I would say. I was focused on sports and going to school, doing my work, and coming home. So I kind of had to transform into the the popular girl who everybody thinks is like, this stuff. But it wasn't that hard, with good direction and working alongside great actors. Everybody had great energy, a great spirit. So, it wasn't hard to follow suit with the script. But yeah, once I got it, once I spoke to Justin, I was like, yeah, this gonna be a breeze. And it was, man, we made magic on that set. We really did. We did.
Nice.
No facts.
Nice. Ronson, talk a little bit about what your experience was once you first got the script, as well as your experience with working with Zarmani. I would love to hear a little bit about that, and a little bit of how you were able to convince her to take on this role.
No, man. I just love talking about it because it's like crazy. Like anytime I get a chance to talk about the story, it's a testament to um, the divine. It's a testament to artistic power, and the artistic genius, I would say, of everyone a part of this cast. Including Justin. As far as me as Armani, I mean, we met at Texas Southern, and anytime we were always like leads at TSU. Like we were leads. We would always be on the stage. We always had great artistic chemistry, and she's a powerhouse. She's so talented, and so the way I am artistically is I always try to put my people on and connect my people. And so I had made a transition from the stage to film shortly after I graduated TSU, and so I'm like, yo, come on, like let's do it. So anytime I would be on a film set or I'd be a part of a project, I would always reach out to her and be like, "Hey, this is audition. Like, I gotta give this crew to come on." And so, I told her about this one, and my fingers were crossed. I was like, after talking to Justin, the energy was insane. It was divine. Literally, me and my mom were out Ubering during deliveries, and the crazy thing is, I had just watched Deception, and I'm the type of guy where when I admire someone artistically, I go to social media and I look and I research people's names. And it's so funny because sometimes
Mhm.
people be like, the actor's names, I just know their face. No, I know the artist's names. And so, me and my mom are Ubering, we're in the car, and I get a DM from Justin. He's like, "Hey man, I've been watching your work. Um, he said, I believe you're a great actor, and I have this film that I'm doing. He said this summer or something like that, and I'd love for you to be a part of it." Um,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Mom, Justin Williams just DM'd me. Like he just DM'd you know." And some told me to call him. It was like I think mom had said like call him. I was like call him. So I literally sent him my number, and man, we got on the phone. Um, and I think too the way that me and Xavier connected is Xavier had just followed me before I made the connection with Justin. So I
Yeah.
watch Inception. Xavier follows me. Then Justin hits me up. We get on the phone, and then he patched Xavier in, and we had at least I don't even know how long we talked. Maybe it was like an hour and some change, Justin. I don't. We just talked,
Yeah.
and immediately it was like this was, it was divine. And he kept telling me the same thing. I'm the type of guy where I don't like stuff handed to me. I mean, even now, I used to always. My mom used to always say a motto, and I just carried on, which is, I just need one shot. I just need an audition. I just need one. That's it. And he kept saying, "Oh man, I just need to hear you read." Yeah, like the same thing he told all of us. Um,
Yeah.
but it was crazy because it's a testament to Justin's genius. Because like Gloria said, these characters were all us. I was Bryce. I was Bryson. I was Bryson Wilson, and there's still elements of Bryson that I still combat even today. Um, but I was him. I was definitely him at the time, whole in the most whole sense of the word, and so it was like everything just fell into place. So when I started playing him, Justin would always tell me under his amazing direction. I even tell my students to this day, he would always say, "It's not about getting it right; it's about getting it honest." And that
Mm,
stuck with me ever since he told me. And so yeah, him
yeah.
showing me the script. That was like the script. It was like he got me. It was that's what sold me was being able to talk to him and feel this energy that Zarmani talked about. And from then on, it was like everything else was perfect. It just fell into place.
Yeah.
Let me add. Let me
Now,
add to
what
his
I'm gaining
story.
from everybody.
Dang.
Okay, please, please.
So the part he's missing is that night we talked. His mom pulled over at like a CVS or something like that, wasn't it? Where they sell
Yes,
medicine,
yes.
and I had
Western.
told Ron, but before I knew his location, I had told him, man, you're gonna heal the world with this movie. You're gonna heal people with this movie. And later on, he came back and told me they were at
Wow.
CVS, and I said, there it is, right there. So
Right. They got the healing.
yeah,
Right?
when you
Yeah.
go to CVS, you're
Yes.
looking for
That's
medicine, you're looking for. So it's like, man, like there couldn't have been no other way this could have happened.
No.
yeah. Yeah.
What did she say?
She said, still to this day, whenever we pass by that same CVS on Westheimer, we always talk about that moment because that's literally what he
Wow.
said. I have chills now talking about like him bringing it up because that's literally it. Just felt all connected. It was like it was perfect. It was like a no brainer. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was Mama Hawkins, by the way, for everybody listening.
Yeah.
Um, shout out to Mama Hawkins. So what I'm gathering from everybody is Justin. They praise your genius, your writing ability, your direction. Where does that come from in your words? Where do you get the creativity and the the thought process to put it all together, and how do you come to the conclusion that each one of these individuals were going to be the characters that you wanted them to play?
So first I'll say for me is like I have a I have a divine I have a divine connection that it can't be explained. And I don't want to question it. I don't ever want to try to figure it out. I just let it I allow it to be exactly what it is. I know intuition when I feel it. And when I feel something deeply,
Yeah.
I become very passionate about it. And I'm able to pretty much will things into reality. Um and that's a whole nother conversation. When it came to this movie, I knew I had already wanted to work with Xavier and Gloria. Like I knew that like before I even started writing Masquerade. I literally wrote Masquerade for Gloria based off of her Instagram persona. The way she looked. I was like, she looks like a Naomi. Now I just have to bridge the gap with her. I already knew Xavier was gonna be the guy because on camera the women they love him. They go crazy for him. So just thinking about okay, a new kid coming to the school. Okay, everybody's gonna want him. But me and Xavier have we have a really great relationship off camera. Like when me and Xavier talk, we just literally bounce off each other, like bounce out. Like the energy is just like it's through the roof. And once we get off the phone, I'm ready to go take the world on. Like we literally like
Yeah,
fuel each
yeah.
other. Um, Ronson, I was literally just scrolling. I was literally scrolling one night, and a monologue he had did came up across my screen. Like I had been looking for Bryson Wilson since I thought of this movie. And I was like, man, it's not gonna happen. I was like getting discouraged about it, but then I ran across his page and I was like, oh man, like this is him. Like I was like going crazy about it because I'm like, I found Bryson Wilson. Like, and no offense to my brother, Ronson, because we have a great relationship. I was like, this
Absolutely.
is the dork. Like, this is him. Like, he's gonna be perfect. But I meant that like in no like harm or anything like that. It just, when it fits, it fits. And I'm gonna be very blunt about
Right.
everything. Like, he was the perfect fit for it. Nobody else could have played this. Nobody. And I
Mhm.
mean well when I say that. Zamani was actually a replacement for somebody else we had in mind. That person couldn't fulfill the role because of a schedule that she had. She was filming another movie at the time. And when Ronson sent me her Instagram, I can say it now because we're actually like, a thing now. But I was like, man, off record, Ronson, she's beautiful. Like, go get her. Like, whatever you gotta do to make it happen, get her. And man, I just remember her getting off work. She had got off work at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was in the bed sleeping. I get a notification from her. She sent me a video of her reading the script, and that was it. From that point, I was like, I have my cast. We were on to the table reads after that, and I just knew from that point, like this was it. Like off camera, like this is my family, and there's gonna be way more y'all see from all of us together. Like literally, this doesn't even like touch the surface level. Like this is, yeah.
Yeah. I heard you mention that you and Zermani are a thing. Do you want to go ahead and make that announcement now?
Yeah, yeah. Definitely like the love of my life. I'm glad it happened the way it did because literally like this relationship has like changed my life. Like as a man, as a father, as a partner. Because of her, me and my mother have the like greatest relationship ever. Me and my mother used to struggle in
Wow.
our relationships like for the longest. And when she came around, like her nurturing, I wasn't looking for my mother in a relationship this time because the things she were giving to me, I was able to fill those voids with, but not like suck her dry. I was able to reciprocate the love and the things she needed
Mhm.
to heal herself. And because of the rescheduling of the other actress and Ronson, we're like this is where we are today. We're waiting on a beautiful baby girl to come into the world. We got about
Hey.
three more months to go. So yeah, nah, it's been the best 4 years of my life, like definitely.
Now talk about divine timing for real. Like it was meant to
Yeah.
be. It was meant to
Yeah,
happen
Yes.
that
definitely,
way.
definitely. But
Yes.
I don't recommend this. This was very
Yeah.
unprofessional,
It
as
was.
she would say.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was.
we was never supposed to cross that line, but things happen, man. We respected the set while it happened. Like we didn't cross any boundaries on set. We respected everybody. We respected what was going on, and we waited until the moment was right for us and our children to actually make it a thing.
Right. Right. That's beautiful though, man. That's beautiful. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the the hurdles. And you mentioned post production earlier, and I wanted to come back to that. Um, some of the hurdles that you might have faced in this process, even during filming. We can start there first. During filming, what kind of hurdles did you guys face in that process, or was it kind of a smooth process?
Man, can I just be completely honest? We didn't have any
Yeah, absolutely.
problems, bro. Like, I know that's kind of crazy to
Absolutely.
say, but if I'm thinking of problems we had, maybe the food not being delivered on time or something, or like, no, this is like a real
Yeah.
family. We had an Airbnb that slept about 40 people, and everybody was able to come into this one space and learn to live with each
Hmm.
other and love each other. Once we got off set, there was a no judgment zone. There wasn't no, oh, he does this when
Right.
there was none of this. We would enjoy our nights. Everybody would wake up on time and be right back at it the next morning. Man, this was not a
Wow.
hard thing at all during production. Now, post production was it was a different experience because I dealt with a lot of individuals. And it's just it's learning to work with people while still trying to be firm and like get what you want out of them. I'm grateful for everybody I
Mhm.
experienced in post production. Truly, I needed everything in post production to happen the way it happened, so I could learn what I needed to learn at the time. I know now moving forward for
Right.
me, business is business from here on out. I'll never make the mistakes I made, with Masquerade because I know I've hurt a lot of people. A lot of people were hurt by me, and that's
Yeah.
that's that. You live and you learn. I'm not sorry for what happened because I needed it. I'm sorry for what people had to experience, in the time and the person who I was at the time. But there's no regret, man. I
Hmm.
I love everything about what we had to go through.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Does anybody else have any input on their experience during the filming process? Go ahead, Xavier.
Man,
No,
I
I
think
just want to say
more
that.
so there wasn't really any hardships like Justin was saying. It was more so challenges. Like me and Ronson talked about being number one and two on the call sheet every day.
Hmm.
And I say that to say, like, we're in this day and age where a lot of people want to be. It's. I don't want to say it's getting away from the art form, but it's like people want to be seen, right? And there's one thing about being seen, but also doing your job with this craft, right? You got to realize that when you're taking on a story, you're literally taking on an art form that can help somebody that may not talk about this problem out loud or may not know who to go to about certain problems, but they can watch it and be healed through how this conversation happened or how this experience happened as a whole. So it the challenge was one of the most feeding moments on set, but it was a good hard. It was a good challenge. And we were talking like, man, we had to wake up in the morning before everybody else, make sure we was right because we knew that the tone that we set was gonna
Yeah.
be throughout the whole day. And
Right.
and everybody, if we gonna talk loud or get off track, everybody else gonna get off track just by connection, by watching who's in charge. And so I just say that to say for people who was out there listening and who aspire to be actors to get to a streaming platform. And if you're just gonna do this craft in general, like look at it as a challenge. It's not something that's just about being seen, but be if you're gonna be selfish in your performance. Portray this story to the best of your ability so that it can truly help someone and not just yourself for personal gain or for just to be, get your content up, Like this is a
Right.
real craft. And if you do it right, you'll reach the heights that you're aspiring to, but you got to take that challenge seriously. And yeah, do it with a team.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ronson or Gloria, did you have anything to add to that?
I think we
I mean, to kind of piggyback off of what Xavier said, yeah, I mean, we called it the brunt. The brunt being the preparation as an actor. Filming, sometimes it was cold. Us waking up early, us going back to the B&B and me and Xavier locking in on character work together. Because we were wanting to on the call
Mm.
sheet and wanted to make sure our synchronicity and our artistic chemistry was good. Being that we had a lot of scenes together, and we had to have this comedic timing to play off of each other, to where the relationship between Bryson and Avery worked. And it's a testament to the preparation. The preparation can be a challenge, but it's very, very, very necessary, and it's a testament to the stamina. If you do not have the artistic stamina to do this craft, then this just isn't for you. You have to have the
Yeah.
artistic stamina to know what is required of you, which is why I love this project, is because it required a lot of me, and the requirements needed for this took my capacity to prepare as an actor. It took it to a different level, because it was the first time I was number one on the call sheet for a film. Which I'm always thankful, to Justin for that opportunity and being able to work with all these people, because their talent allowed me to achieve a different level of preparation. It wasn't always easy. Sometimes it felt like there was pressure, and I think that's the only quote unquote obstacle that I adhered and went through during that time. But I wouldn't change a thing. Kind of similar to what Justin said, I wouldn't change a thing. It was the brunt. Like it was a good challenge though. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Um, as far as doing the editing and getting everything ready to go, and getting it prepped for release, was there any issues there? Did you encounter anything there, that, or were there anything that you learned during that process that might be helpful to other filmmakers who maybe might need to hear, or maybe something that they could relate to?
Yeah. So I would just say you should vet everyone in the pre-production stage. My only advice would be to know who you're gonna work with once the film is over with, or once production is over with, so y'all can have those conversations early in the movie, so that person can start preparing for the time they'll have it once they get it. That way later on it's not dragged out, it's not a long process for them, because everybody wants to hurry up and get their movie edited and done it, and we all are guilty of that. I just think when you're talking about post-production, I won't speak of the troubles we went through out of respect for, other parties and stuff like that. Because like I say, it wasn't, nothing was, it was ever personal. It's, I'm learning, I'm still learning. And I would just say, vet out who you're going to work with, go study what they've done, look very deeply into that. And if it aligns with what see, then yeah, go for it. But I think post production, like I say, it was a patience thing. It has nothing to do with what we see with the natural eye. It has nothing to do with that. Post production was truly a inner journey for all of us. Because I used to tell Gloria all the time, this movie is not gonna come out until everybody has done the work. Like me and Gloria used to have that conversation all the time. Until y'all and until I get on the right side of who we're supposed to be, this movie will sit on the shelf until we all get there. And I promise, I told Gloria this every time we talk. She'd be like, hey, we got to update. Nah, what does your inner work look like right now? You get what I'm saying? So I finally feel like I feel like I am that I am. I'm who I'm supposed to be today, with no apology about it. This is who I am. This is who you will forever get, because I know what feels right to me, and I'm not worried about what nobody else thinks about me. So yeah, post production, we gotta start. We gotta start piecing that inner journey into everything we do, because once you figure out what it is internally, then it makes everything externally a breeze.
Right, right. and it's maintaining the integrity of the project, making sure everything is
100%.
solid and good to go.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
Masquerade still isn't perfect.
okay,
It still isn't perfect. And you know what? I got out of my way and said, you know what? This is what the movie is about.
hmm,
So of course people are gonna have opinions, they're gonna have, criticism, and I'm okay with it all. Because now I'm to the point where I can hear what the negative things are and say, I appreciate that because I know where to go get better now. But if everybody's just saying, oh, that's a great movie, well, I have no starting point for where I want to start with the next one. No, I need to hear people say the audio was off right there. No, the edit was off right there. Oh, they should have did this. I need to hear that because now I know how to write more for my audience and not just about what I want to put out there. So I open the doors to your hardest critics. Like, this is what it is. I wanted to
hmm.
get it honest. I have no excuse for any mishaps in the movie. That is the honest
Hmm.
truth. You get what you get.
I love that answer, and it just kind of pushes me to ask the rest of you guys, what does Masquerade mean for each of you, but not just professionally, but on a personal level? Now that it's about to exist into the world, what
Yeah.
does this particular project mean to you? And we'll start with Zarmani.
Mm. I would say finding yourself. Um,
Mhm.
like they said, a lot of this, a lot of the script was each of us individually. And at first I did say like I wasn't a popular girl, which I wasn't. But like I said, Kennedy was very sweet and very kind, and I'm very much like that. I'm very what's the word? I love hard. I'm like I said, I'm a nurturer, so I can relate to her in that aspect. So I think after filming Masquerade, I, especially being with Justin, the kind of person he is, I did go on a journey of finding myself. I would say during as well, but I had just graduated. I was what is it? I just graduated. I was just focused on working and being a mom, and I thought like, that was it. This is life. So I definitely went on a journey of finding myself. But to be honest, I would say in certain areas I'm still finding myself. But just being a part of a movie that was centered around that and each character having to go through that, I would say it opened my eyes to it. I need to figure out who I am. Now I can confidently say, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. But at first it wasn't. It was kind of, I'm just going day by day. But yeah, I started the journey of finding myself. I'm very confident in who I am now, but I am still finding myself. But yeah, Masquerade, I think, is going to be that for many. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think it gives off a great message of find yourself and be who you are, and don't take off the mask. Don't be
hmm,
somebody else just to get a life you think you want, because you never know, the life you live in may be the life for you. So
right, right. And what about you, Gloria?
Wow. Masquerade means healing for me. So I was in music at first. That's how Justin found me, and one of my songs is in his first film. And then we built a working relationship after that. But being in the music industry, it's you have to be the prettiest, the skinniest, you're on a nutrition plan, and I just always just felt like I just had to live up to this standard. But when I came into Masquerade, like I mentioned before, like Justin really had to fight me on like you have to let go of what people think of you because that's not Naomi and it's not going to come off authentic.
Right.
So the film really healed me, and even what he just said, like having updates on the film, like what are we doing, he's like you need to like do the internal work, and when we do the internal work the film will come out. And I literally had just let go of Masquerade. I was still healing through 3 years now since the
Hmm.
film hasn't since we finished, and now that the film is coming out. But yeah, now I'm unapologetically me. Like, if you like me, cool. If not, great. And this is who I am. And yeah, it's just been a healing journey for me. And I'm grateful for this movie because without Masquerade, I'm not really sure if I would be in this place of just accepting who I am. So yeah.
Wow.
That's
How about you,
beautiful.
Xavier? It is.
Man. I don't want to skip over. I want to double down on what Justin said about that inner work. That is so super important when you're just trying to do anything.
Hmm.
This film for me was super fun. It was super fun because it was a story that I got to do before I got too old, before I got gray hairs. You know, we took it back to high school. So, you know, we got to do a classic, like Kid and Play, like 90s stuff we grew up on. And we had great music in the whole thing. Like it's a really like, man, I just have to say we really kind of created a 90s classics, but in a modern time. That's the best way I could put it with all the imperfect things involved. Like it was a beautiful experience, not only because of the challenge also, but because of the again the inner work back to yes, I'm doing this movie with friends, I'm doing this movie with great actors and actresses. Yes, I'm doing this movie in a high school. This is all a unique timeline, but I need to stay grounded and know that I still have a job to do, and I need to do it correct and right to the best of my ability. um, and looking back on it, I smile every time because it was just so much. It was so much fun, so much that I learned from it, and yeah, like it's one for the books to say. Like I pride myself on doing fly, exciting, cool art, and this is exactly that. You know, and it's a message for anybody who will watch it at any timeline, like at any age. And so,
Yeah.
it's a great one for my book. I love it.
Nice, man. Nice. And Bronson, how about you?
Man, this was that I am project for me.
Mm.
Literally, that's what it was. It I gained a family throughout the course of this project. As Justin said, he's very blunt, he's very straight to the point, and Justin became my big brother throughout this process, and we had many of conversations, off screen, outside of set, um, that were very healing for me. I mean, I had lost my father a couple years prior to being on the set, and being a part of this project, and so there were things that the things that Bryson was facing, the demons that he were facing, were the same ones that I was facing within myself, and Justin being a director was also a mentor to me through just in my personal life, like coaching me through these things of what Bryson was going through in his personal, of what I was going through in my personal life because I was him. Um,
Hmm.
and but the crazy thing is that one of the the main motif in it is why pretend to be. Oftentimes we pretend to be someone else because we feel like we don't already need what we have to be who we were meant to be. We feel like we don't have it. And so we try to be someone who we think they have it because we're moving from a place of lack. And the crazy thing is the journey from the moment we rap to now, I've done things that made me realize that got me to the point of Masquerade when I watch it and when I realize it's coming out, it's like, man, that whole project made me realize that I'm really who I am. I'm really somebody who's capable to lead a film. I'm someone who's capable of working with high caliber actors. I'm someone who's capable to be number one on the call sheet. I'm someone who's capable of, I've trained, I went to school for this. I trained. I don't have to doubt who I am. I don't have to doubt my abilities, and I can be confident and very sure that I'm always going to step up to the plate and to deliver the deliverables and be the artist that I'm supposed to be. And so that's what Masquerade is for me. It's my magnum opus right now in my career. That's why I'm proud of it to drop, because when people see it, and they see this entire amazing cast, the work that I've done from the moment we rap to now, it's like, wow, like I really was able to
Yeah.
do it. And I was only able to do it because I was around some amazing, people and fueled by some amazing artists. So yeah.
Nice.
I want to piggyback on that real quick too, just
Yeah.
about this film. we're in this day and age where a lot of kids also are growing up on social media, so they're constantly comparing themselves. This movie also kind of speaks to that, right? Your identity, you're finding your place in this world, and really expounding on your distinguishing qualities, right? Because what oftentimes people try to stand out through techniques, through comparison, all this stuff, but what really breaks the mold most of the time is just being your authentic self, and somebody's going to take notice. And so I think this movie does a great job of doubling down on that as well. Identity.
That's nice. That's nice. Well, guys, I'm excited to watch this, especially when it drops on Amazon Prime. April 6th is the date, correct? Is it April 6th?
The 7th.
The 7th, April 7th. I apologize. April
Yeah.
7th on Amazon Prime. Is it going to be available on any other streamers that people might want to check it out on?
Yeah. There's a list of them, but I only focused on Amazon Prime. Yeah, there's a list of them.
So Amazon.
Okay.
Try to
Okay.
keep
Well,
all the money
definitely,
in one
if you guys,
place.
right, right. You guys have Amazon Prime, check it out on Prime. If not, look it up online to see where it's available. And check it out. Reach out to Justin, reach out to everybody in this cast, let them know how great they did. Talk a little bit about the project, and I congratulate all of you guys on coming together, becoming a family, creating something that is going to help people. It's helped you guys, so obviously when people watch it, they're gonna get that, and they're gonna gain that for themselves as well. So I commend you guys for that. And with that being said, this is the Roundtable for Masquerade, everybody.
Yeah. We in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
building. We in the building.
I appreciate everybody joining. This was a great conversation. Um, does anybody have any parting words? Usually, I do a final word for my individual guests. If you guys are open and willing to do that, I like for them to say either a quote that they live by, words of advice, or words of encouragement, or a piece of advice that's been passed down to them from somebody of experience. You could say one of the three, or you could say all three. And I will start with Ronson and then go around.
Um, Coin from Justin Williams. It's not about getting it right. It's not about getting it wrong. It's about getting it honest. I always say, just do the work, dude. Just do the work, and don't worry about people catching up. Um, don't wait to be somebody. You're somebody now. Sometimes it just takes people the time to catch up, but if you build it, they'll come.
Mm.
All you got to do is just focus on the work. Oh, and then one thing I always tell people is, um, don't worry about the perfect time. Sometimes you got to jump out of the plane and build the parachute on the way down. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Gloria?
Oh man. I mean, I would have to just go with my own words. If God gave you the desire, He will provide. Just go for it. Simple as that. Go for your dreams.
Yeah,
Gave you the desire, He'll provide. Just do it. Don't think about it.
yeah, absolutely. Xavier, how about you?
Man, don't forget to laugh, man. Have fun on the journey, man. All this stuff is hard. We can't take it with us. Have fun on the journey. This is a fun movie. This is again a return to the '90s. We talking about some deep stuff, but at the end of the day, it's gonna make you laugh. It's a lot of just culture in it. It's a lot of just customs that Justin imbued in it, but also is a laugh. Don't forget to have fun and laugh on this journey. You never know. So that's
Yeah,
all I say.
yeah. Zarmani, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to say two things. I'm going to say something in alignment with the movie, and that is be who you are and not who you think you need to be. And once y'all see the movie, I will make that correlation. And my own personal quote that I live by, that I encourage my kids to live by, is be in the moment, be present. Um, like I think Xavier said, this is a day and time where a lot of people are in their phones a lot. And that's where the comparison starts. That's where insecurity starts, that's where a lot of things start. But get off the phone, be in the moment, go touch some grass. and see
Yeah.
you'll see the beauty in everything in life itself, and you can experience life a different way when you look at it from that perspective.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. And last but not least, Justin, we will wrap on your thoughts.
uh this is a moment right here because I was telling Xavier, I think Ronson and Zamani, I don't think me and Gloria had the conversation yet, but they were asking me, man, how does it feel? And I'm like, I don't feel anything no more. Like I'm just ready for it to, like get out. But this just brought everything back. Truly, like
Hmm.
this was great for me because I feel what I felt when it was time to like write this thing, and now I think it's coming out at the right time. So my only thing to the audience and everyone who's watching is watch this movie from a soul perspective. Kill the ego, kill everything that you see in the mirror, and dial in on what the soul is crying for. Get what you get from it and apply it. That's it. That's it. And like I said, if I can help one person, if one person is just like, man, that movie freed me, then I know. Then I know I did what I was supposed to. And that's that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all joining and doing this roundtable for Masquerade. It's truly been a pleasure. And, I wish you guys all much success on this project and every project that you have moving forward. Um, and that's it. That's the cast and the writer, director, producer of Masquerade. Everybody.
Yeah.